Enemy looks like that one went right through.
Well, hello everyone, this is One of a Nine here from One of a Nine TV, and I am bringing you a review of one of the two Tier 5 American turreted tank destroyers, the Wolverine, the other one being the T-49, which I will be doing a review of soon as well. The M10 Wolverine has 560 hit points, 51mm of frontal hull armor, so about the same as like the Sherman. 19mm of side armor, so that's pretty bad, but it's good enough if you side scrape, you can still bounce shots. And then 25mm of armor at the rear. The frontal turret armor is 57mm, which is great in a hold down position, because as I will show you, it is very well angled. His side armor of 25mm and rear armor of 25mm. It weighs 28.96 tons, has an engine horsepower of 420, speed limit of 48 kilometers an hour, traverse speed of 30 degrees a second, and the turret traverse, which is slow, which is a characteristic of all American turreted tank destroyers, is 16. Standard shell damage is 120 to 200. Standard shell penetration is 96 to 160. Rate of fire is 9.92 rounds a minute, and 1.7 second aiming time, 1.38 dispersion, and 240 meter view range. I should say that this is all with the 76mm anti-tank gun M1A2, which is, in my opinion, better than the 105mm howitzer, because it fires much quicker and is almost guaranteed to do damage every single time, because it has high penetration, and if you fire a PCR, you're gonna pen. So from this tank, you can research two tanks, the Jackson and the Hellcat. So the Hellcat is a very fast and maneuverable tank like the T-49, and the Jackson's slower like the Wolverine. For ammunition, you can do armor piercing composite rigid, and HE. I generally carry 40 rounds of armor piercing, 5 rounds of APCR, 9 rounds of HE. HE for those really lightly armored tanks like the Covenanters, you can run into the T-49s. So, all those really lightly armored tanks. That's what I use the HE for. For consumables, I have the multi-purpose restoration pack, first aid kit, and repair kit. For equipment, I carry binocular telescopes, coated optics, and a tank gun rammer. The reason I take the binocular telescopes and the coated optics is so I can get the tank's view range up to as high as possible. Okay, now for some gameplay. Okay, so for this first round of gameplay, as you can see, this is top tier game in my Wolverine. Sorry that the quality isn't as good as it usually is. I forgot to accidentally set the detail settings to medium, not high. So as you can see, I'm driving towards the railroad tracks because this thing has really thin side armor, so you don't want to expose as much of your side as possible. And sometime soon, the first enemy is going to be spotted. This was one lucky snapshot that I took. It was just on the edge of the reticle, and it barely managed to hit. That was well, I knew I wasn't going to kill him with that shot, but, and then T-40's fired, so now I can go attack him. And there's the Panzer IV over there. That was another really lucky shot. I just took it because I figured I could make it, and now I take out the T-40. And then there's the Panzer IV over there. Sadly, in this replay, I don't get to show you the excellent turret armor of this tank, and I just took another really lucky shot. I don't shoot because the T-34 is in my way, but I shoot once I go past him, and I think I just took off his tracks though. Put one more shot into him, And then my pal in the M8A1 finishes him off. Okay, so now there's 5 of us left and 3 of them. There's DW2, a Hetzer, and a T-34 over there. So right now the most important thing is trying to support the rest of your team. And there we go, they just lost their DW2. And then their Hetzer just picked up a kill. That was a terrible shot. I should have given him a little bit more lead, and that would have hit, and I would have had damage from that. But hindsight is the best type of sight. See, because when you're watching a replay like this, you can always realize what you did wrong. Like that shot, I didn't give him enough lead. But then the next shot, I automatically adjusted. And then good damage as he's on the move. With this accuracy of this actually non-German gun. Because the German guns generally have their famous accuracy. And then, see, the M4 puts a shot into him. I drive back, put another shot. And then as I reload, the M4 finishes him off. So this was a quite good game, demonstrating the capabilities of the M10 Wolverine. Okay, so now here's a quick look at the post-game stats from that game. As you can see, I earned a total of 28,000 credits on that match. Did 13,449 damage, was top of my team. Most of the enemy tanks that I ended up seeing, I damaged, except for the Matilda Back Prince. I only lost 1243 credits on that game. I fired 13 shots, 10 hit, 10 penetrated. I damaged 4 enemies, destroyed 1. Spotted 2 enemies, and did 312 damage with my assistance. I received no hits, therefore took no damage. No base capture points, no base defense points. Traveled almost 1 kilometer. Okay, so here's some more gameplay in the Wolverine. As you can see, this is not a top tier match. There is multiple tier 7s on the enemy team and 2 on my team. So right now I'm thinking about where I'm going to go, and I'm going to one of the positions that I am going to show you in the tactics video for this map. So as you can see, I'm setting myself up on this ridgeline, because this ridgeline right here is perfect, because they can't spot me from over there, and I can shoot at them from over here. But as you... So I'll wait here for a while, and I sadly don't get a shot. Well, I got 1 shot off onto the M6. And other than that, I'm going to have no shots. So I do try and sneak a shot onto this Tiger 1, which dips into the ground. And so after that, I see that this position is not very going to help my team very much. So I'm going to leave and move into a more advantageous position. So I am moving up to help my team against this Tiger 1. Put a shot into him, 133 damage. He doesn't shoot me, he shoots the... I think I'm going to get 1 more shot into him, and I kill him. Okay, so now I see that there's the AT-15 on the ridge over there, well, on the bridge. So I've moved myself into position to hopefully take advantage of the fact that he's exposed. I load an APCR, well, yeah, I switch over to APCR, fire off a shot. Bounces, so I switch back to AP, and hopefully I can penetrate his turret, and then somebody else kills him. So then I turn my attention back over to here and begin to make a run down this way. As our Panzer IV is about to get himself killed from that Churchill 1, which is a good tank, but has a really weak turret armor. Of course, I made the mistake there of not firing at his turret. There we go. Now I start firing at his turret and I start doing damage. So then I sort of make a mistake here. I try to run up again. I run into him. What I really need to do is then, right now, since I'm trying to duke back and forth so he can't hit me, and sadly he does just as the other guy gets killed. Okay, so here's the post-game stats. I did 969 damage. Was 4th on my team in damage and experience. That Churchill 1 had quite a good game. Okay, so... And then... I only got 1 kill out of that. But... that was on the Tiger 1, which is tier 7, so that's pretty good to get a kill on. For stats, I fired 12 shots. 10 hit, 7 penetrated. I damaged 3 enemies, destroyed 1. It caused 969 damage. I received 4 hits, 4 of them penetrated. No base capture points and 1 base defense point. I traveled 0.65 kilometers. Well, that is all. I hope I showed you quite well the advantages and disadvantages of the Wolverine. This tank, I think, is quite good, and in the right hands, it can be quite a deadly tank destroyer. Well, that's all for now. I'll see you on the battlefield.